In this morning's Money Watch, we're going to unpack what the debt ceiling means to everyday Americans, with the government expected to hit that limit today. When you hear the term debt ceiling, you might roll your eyes and think to yourself, how does this affect me? Well, CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is here to explain why it actually does. Jill, good morning. How you doing?
Good, doing well.
Okay, so what exactly is debt ceiling?
So it's basically the limit, and it's an arbitrary limit of the total amount of debt that the U.S. can actually borrow. It goes back to 1917.
Okay.
And because we generally spend more than we take in every year for all the various obligations we have, we run up debt. Periodically, the debt ceiling needs to be raised. It's been raised 86 times since 1960. It's usually a bipartisan, non-event administrative. But what is clear is not raising the debt ceiling can have significant consequences on the economy and on us.
So I'm sitting at home, I'm watching you, I should be worried. Why?
Well, okay. When we don't have the debt ceiling raised, the U.S. Treasury Department has a series of bad decisions to make. So right now they're starting with kind of like the medium measures that don't really impact us. But we get closer to the summer, what is likely to happen is we could start seeing a real change. What would happen? We could see furloughing of government employees. So now we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people.
Wow.
We're talking about some of those government employees being forced to work, but not getting paid. We're also talking about things like delaying Social Security checks. Maybe you won't get your tax refund on time. Maybe you won't go to a national park. I just want to focus on one thing very particularly. When you don't have Social Security checks coming in, not only is it putting individuals at risk, it is putting the economy at risk.
Right.
Those Social Security checks are spent in this economy. We are in an economy right now that is teetering on the edge of recession. So this could cause tremendous tumult and could push us further into a recession than we would have been otherwise.
The ripple effect.
Well, when you lay it out like that, Jill, you go, well, why not just raise the debt ceiling?
Yeah.
Right, good, thank you.
When you lay it out like that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I exactly agree with that, because this has become a strange battle in fighting a fight that's already been fought. And what do I mean by that? When you think about the debt ceiling, this is not running up new debt for something we haven't voted on. Congress, previous Congresses, Republicans and Democrats have voted on certain spending measures. Raising the debt ceiling pays for the measures that have already been voted on.
Okay.
So this has become this strange way of saying, we don't like the amount of money going out for Social Security or whatever program you care or don't care about.
That was already agreed upon.
It was already agreed upon, which makes people like me nuts.
Republicans want to use this moment, though, to cut spending. They say, look, the debt ceiling is at $31 trillion. That's a huge number. I mean, on the other hand, feel better about your personal credit card bill, I suppose.
Right.
But do they have a point in saying, hey, this is out of control?
Well, I think they would have a point if they hadn't voted back, in 2017 for tax cuts that weren't paid for, or hadn't voted on a series of plans that we really did need during the pandemic. Everything in retrospect gets a different tint through a political lens.
Right.
I'm a money person. I don't really care about politics. I care when politicians screw up the economy and actually impact ordinary Americans' lives.
That should be your, answer machine message.
That's it right there.
Money person.
That's it. And you know what? To be honest with you, the people who are grandstanding around this, they do so at their own peril. Because in the past, what we know is when we have these conflicts and they go to the bitter end, just go back to 2011, the last time we had a big impasse, the stock market went down by 14% over 4 weeks. The bond market went berserk and borrowing costs increased. We were looking at job losses, and it did take time to recover. Again, we're already slowing down after this post-pandemic recovery.
Right.
This is not the moment to have a fight like this.
Right.
All right.
Very clear.
Jill always breaks it down. Thank you, Jill.
Thanks.